What's up, guys? Good morning, you all. So today I'll be talking about how to properly draw support and resistance zone. How to support and draw a support and resistance zone on the chart. How to properly draw it. So that's what I'll be talking about today. So please don't mind this. This is where I do most of my rough work. So I'll be going to a clean chart. This is USD card. I'll be using USD card because sorry, but it's the only pair I trade due to. It fits my personality and all of that, so that'll be another topic for another day. But it just suits my personality and I understand how it moves and all of that. So don't mind all these. This is my rough where I do most of my rough work, and I'll go to a clean chart. So I'll be explaining how support and resistance, how to spot and draw a support and resistance correctly. So yeah, this is also on USD card too. So we'll be talking about how to plot the support and resistance. So basically, you can draw your support and resistance zones at any time frame. You can spot it on the 4 hours time frame, daily time frame, even the 15 minutes, even 5 minutes. But why most people prefer the higher time frame, because there's lesser noise at that time frame. So in the 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute time frame, there's much noise there. So you don't know, there's too much noise there. So drawing a support and resistance zone there, it's not bad at all, but it's just preferable to spot it, to see a clean support and resistance zone at the higher time frame, because at the 1 minute time frame you might be looking, because of the too much noises there, you might be seeing something like a mirage, like looking like a support and resistance zone, but it's actually not a support and resistance zone. I'm not saying it's yeah, I'm not saying you can't draw it there too, but if you are very, if you've been, if you know what you're doing and you understand it, and you can basically draw it on the 1 minute time frame if you understand it properly. But yeah, I draw my support and resistance zone sometimes at the 15 minutes time frame. Yeah, but mostly the major support and resistance zone, when to plot it, is at the 4 hours and 1 hour time frame. That's where to see a genuine support and resistance zone. So that's aside. So today I'll be showing you guys how to draw a support and resistance zone. I'll draw it on the 4 hours. I will spot it and plot it on the 1 hour time frame. 4 hours, then I go to 15 minutes, and then I go to 1 minute. So I'll just explain all this for you. So if you look closely here, you see I can zoom in further, but let's just look at this. Let's just make example of this one right here I'm looking at. So if you look closely, let me show you guys something. So you can see this is like a resistance zone. If I, it's, remember, it's the plotting this, it's not just a line, it's not just putting one straight line on the chart and hoping that if price gets to that line, that's when it's a zone. It's like a zone. That's why I prefer you use this rectangular shape box. So yeah, this stuff right here is because it's covers all of it. So you can see, if I keep extending it, you see, I don't know what's wrong with my chart today, but let me just keep extending it. So you can see how it's going. It's still going further. So it still goes further, and you can see, and you see now. So please don't mind how I'm drawing this, but I don't know, my cursor is misbehaving, keeps glitching, something like that. I don't know what's wrong with it today. So okay, yeah, this is it. So you can see that top right there. Let me go to the higher time frame so you can see it clearly how I plotted it. So this is on the daily time frame. So this place I plotted this rectangular box, it's a resistance zone. You can see how price, whenever price gets to that zone, you can see whenever it gets to that point, you see it always reacts. So it's a resistance zone. So the support zone is a zone where they are probably more. Let me just explain it for you. Sorry, a support zone is a zone where there are possible surplus of buyers, and a resistance zone is a zone where there might be possible surplus of sellers. So that's just the simple definition. That's just the simple definition of support and resistance zone. So you can see how whenever price gets to this point, this is a resistance. So this is a resistance. So this one, it's a resistance zone. This is a resistance. the resistance zone. You can see resistance. This is a resistance zone, so you can see whenever price gets to that zone, you see sellers always comes into the market and drop it down. Price gets to that zone again, sellers jump into the market, they drop it down. Price came back again to that zone and it dropped it back down again, and you see price again, it dropped it back down. And if you see now price is currently at that zone, now what are we expecting? For sellers to jump into the market again and drop it back down. So that's what we're expecting. So this is on the daily time frame too, that's why. So but I'll go to the 4 hours time frame and pick and show you guys another form of support and plot it at that zone to just prove that you can basically plot your support and resistance zone at any time frame. So this is it. So this is for the resistance zone. You can see how price continuously, but though this price is ranging at the higher time frame, even on the ranging market, so you can see support and resistance zone, because it's this support and resistance zone, but it's just moving between a range, goes up, not breaking through those support and resistance. So it's just ranging within those two points or zones. The resistance at the top and the support, they are not too big, just tiny, and price will just, whenever price gets there, it goes back up. Whenever it gets to resistance, it drops back down to the support. So that's just it, guys. So this one at the top is for the resistance. So let me just explain how ranging work. This is basically a ranging market from the higher time frame though, which is the daily time frame. And yeah, so this one right here, you can see I'll call this a support zone. You can see, so this is a ranging market. All this is a ranging market. You can see whenever price gets to this point, you can see this one down here is for the support. So this is the support zone. You can see, but support zone, like I said, is a zone where there are possible surplus of sellers, of buyers, sorry. So support zone. So this is a support zone. So this one at the down is the support zone. You can see how price continuously, whenever it gets to the point, it pulls back up to the resistance. The sellers jump into the market and drop it back down again. The buyers jump into the market and push it back up again. So price is neither breaking above or below. So it's just ranging. That's just the simple definition of ranging market. So so this is just how to plot your support, how to spot and plot your support and resistance zone. So that's just it. So this I plotted this from the daily time frame. So I'll be going to the lower time frame to plot it, which is the 4 hours. So I'll be doing it gradually. You can see from daily, this is daily, I'll be going to 4 hours now. So let me take this off. So just want to show you guys that you can literally plot your support and resistance zone at any time frame. You just have to understand and know how to plot it, and be very you just have to be very, when you're used to the charts, you know exactly what you're doing, and you can basically plot it at any time frame. So I'll be going to the 4 hours time frame now. So at the 4 hours time frame, you can see from here. And one thing again, I'll get to that though, but before that, let me explain something for you. Let me show you guys. So this is the 4 hours time frame here. So this is like the 4 hours time frame. So let me show you guys the support zone now. You can see I'm already looking at it right here. Possible surplus of buyers. So this is a support zone. You can see this is like a support zone. See, support zone, supported, it broke down, and so this is basically a support zone. And I'll be explaining something to you guys pretty soon, but before that, let me just show you. So you can see this is from a 4 hours time frame. I'm plotting this. You can see, yeah. So this is from a 4 hours time frame. I'm plotting this. So if you look closely, what's happened there? There's what we call turn quotes. It's a process in which support becomes resistance, and resistance becomes support. That's just basically what happened at this point. You can see price resisted at this point. At first, price resisted, dropped down, came back again, resisted, moved up again, resisted, moved up again, resisted, moved up again, resisted. It finally broke out, and this resistance zone became support. So a turn quote, that's what happened here, turn quote. That's basically what happened here. Turn quotes, support becoming resistance or resistance becoming support. So price was resisting, it broke out, started forming support. So support can become resistance and resistance can become support. So this is just an example of resistance becoming support. And if you look again, you see another, from this point to this point just basically explain how turn quotes happen. So resistance became support here and support became resistance again. You can see when price got to this point, it bounced off of this support zone, pulled up again, dropped down, pulled up again, dropped down, pulled up again. It broke out. When it broke out, it resisted again and dropped down before finally breaking out. So right here was price resisted, dropped back down, resisted again, dropped down, resisted, dropped down, resisted, dropped down. It broke out and supported, moved up, supported, moved up, supported again. Then it broke out and you can see it resisted again before dropping and finally breaking out. So if price should come back down to this zone right here, that's why I say it is preferable to draw it on the higher time frame because there's lesser noise at that point. So if price should come back down to this zone down again, you see it's going to be like a support zone, price supporting. So this is from the 4 hours time frame. Let me pick another example for you guys. So I've basically explained, I use just this to explain how turn codes, the meaning of turn codes and how turn codes works. Just supports becoming resistance and resistance becoming support. So this is another clear example of plotting a resistance. So I did a support zone. Let me do a resistance. Let me show. I'm looking for a clean example of a resistance zone. So okay, even you can see all these tiny moves, they are resistance. All these are just resistance. I'm just looking for a clear one. I'm seeing the resistance. When you're fluent with the charts, you know how to plot all these and you can just be looking at them. So sorry, I don't know what's wrong with my cursor today, but let me just keep it here and draw it to this zone. You can see that's like a support, that's like a resistance zone. See, price got to this point, resisted, pulled up again, resisted, price pulled up, resisted, came back again, resisted. So this is a clear example of a resistance zone. So I'm just looking for a clean example where it's very long. You can see how resistance is long. That's what I'm looking for here. Okay. No, this one is not very clear. I'm looking at, you can see. Okay, I think my chart has ended. Let me just look for one and show you guys. So here, yeah, something like this. You can see. Let me just do something like this. Let me just do something like this for you guys. So this is a clear example of a resistance zone. This is a clear example of a resistance. Sorry about that. So this is a resistance zone. You can see how price, whenever price gets to that point, it draws back down, gets to that point, it drop, gets to that point, it dropped again before it finally broke out and moved to the upside. So that's just it, guys. So that's just it on how to draw support and resistance zones. So you just have to, it's a zone where there are possible surplus of buyers and a zone where there are possible surplus of sellers. So that's just the simple definition of support and resistance zone. And whenever price tends to come back to that point, price will always react. Price will react. It will react. Not always though, but mostly, majorly, it always react. Like 90%, or should I say 95 or 80% of the time, price react to support and resistance zone. And there's one thing I'm going to say again, using trend line to spot support and resistance zone, but that will be another topic for another day, because trend line also acts as support and resistance zone, but on a dynamic form, in a slant way, so that will be another topic for another day though. But I just want to give you guys brief example and brief explanation of how to plot and spot a support and resistance zone. You can see from this point, this is a resistance zone. You can see whenever price got to that point, it dropped, moved up again, almost got to that point, it dropped again, got to that point and it dropped. So what are we expecting here? We're expecting price to drop again. So that's just it about pure price action and technical analysis using historical paths to predict what price might likely do in the future. That's just it about technical analysis. So what price did in the past might likely happen again in the present. yeah, in the present, not future. Price might likely do it again. So you can see previously 2023, yeah, November 6, 2023, price resisted at this zone, dropped again, came back down, came back up to that zone at 2024. You see how many years it took? Almost a year. Came back because this is a higher time frame. Came back to that zone again, which is 2024 August 1st, and it resisted again. You can see the drop. Now price is at that point again, which is October 2024. You can see how many months again it took to get to this point again. So what are we expecting? Due to technical analysis and the theory and the way it defines, we're expecting price to drop back down again. So that's just it. So let me go to the 1 hour time frame and plot it too. So because I promised to plot it on our time frame, so you can see why immediately I enter, because I understand how these things work and I know how to spot them. So immediately I'm looking at it, I'm already seeing a support and resistance zone. Immediately I just jump into the charts. I already have I already know where a support zone lies, and you can see this is a support zone. Price drop, got to this point and pulled up, came back down to that point again. You can see the aggressive pull to the upside. So this is from the 1 hour time frame. Let me go to the 15 minutes now, so you can see again 15 minutes. You can see what I was talking about. There's a lot of noise at the 15-minute time frame, so it is preferable to plot all those things at the higher time frame, because it's more valid and likely to work, to spot it properly at the higher time frame. So right here it's a resistance zone. You can see this is like a resistance zone. You can see whenever price gets to that point, it dropped, price almost dropped, got to that point again, dropped, pulled up again to that point. You can see it overextended. Call this overextension or liquidity. Price grab liquidity and drop. So that's another topic for another day though. But you can see price got to that point, it definitely dropped down. You can see how it dropped down aggressively. So this is for a resistance. Let me show you guys a support before I call this a day. Okay, there's another one I'm seeing here. Okay, there's another one I'm looking at right here. I just want to make sure it's okay. You can see if we go to a higher time frame, you see this noise that's happened below didn't happen there. You just see, but this is what I'm talking about. So all these lower time frame have much noise. You can see supported, pulled up, it dropped, it's still supported, came back up, drop, pulled up again, bounced again, pulled up. You see when it came back to that point again, it moved back up. So that's just it, guys. So this is on the 15-minute time frame. I'll go to the 1 minute, 5-minute time frame and plot it, and then we'll call it a day, and we're done for today. So 5 minutes, you can see there's a lot of noise at the 5 minute, at the lower time frame. A lot of noise. You can see this is like a support zone. You can see price supported at this point before pulling back up. There's like a lot of noise at the 5-minute time frame. You can see this is like it. So I prefer, instead of using a line, you can just be using this rectangular box, because so you know it's like a zone. It's not just a line, it's a zone. You keep that in your head. So it's just a zone. You can see price drop, got to this point, moved up, came back down to that point again. Now you can see the aggressive pull to the upside. So that's just it. And you can see this another support zone, this line. You can see here price pulled up, bounced on top of this, moved up, bounced again, moved up, bounced, moved up. So you can see if I extend this, you see it's all the same zone. That's why I say instead of using a line, I prefer we use like this rectangular box. I prefer use this rectangular box, so you'll be able to capture like everything inside of it. So you can see supported, price pulled up, bounced on top of this, moved up, bounced again, overextended, pulled, moved up. You can see when it came back to this point, it moved up again. So that's just it, guys. That's how to I spotted this. It's just to show you that you can basically spot it at any time frame, anywhere, any time frame. You can spot supports and resistance. And I started from the daily 4 hours, 1 hour, 15 minutes, and now 5 minutes. So that's just it, guys. And I explained what turn codes is. Supports become a resistance. It also happens at all time frame. Turn codes, you can also see it at all time frame. supports becoming resistance and resistance becoming support. So that's just it, guys. Like this is a clear example. You can see price resisted at this point and became support here. Let me look for it at the 1 minute time frame, 5 minute time frame before I call this off. Okay, yeah, this is a clear example. Let me just use a line because I don't know what's wrong with my cursor, but I don't know, my cursor keep glitching or something like that. So you can see price got to this point, it resisted, move back up to, if I use that rectangular box now, you see it will cover this whole space. So price got to that point again, it resisted, broke and became support. So this is a clear example. A turn quote, that's what happened here. Let me write it. What happened here basically is called a turn quote. Yeah, that's what, sorry, it's on quotes. Yeah, that's what basically happened here. Support becoming, the year is clearly an example of resistance becoming support. That's what happened here. Resistance, price resisted, broke and became support. So that's just it, guys. So that's it's about how to plot and spot the support and resistance zone. So I'll see you guys maybe on my next class. I'll be explaining how to use trend line to spot a support and resistance zone on a slant way, dynamic. Trend line acts as support and resistance zone on a dynamic way. So that's it, guys. So I'll see you guys when next I come again to make a video like this. So please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like, please support me, and if just please support me, guys. I have nothing else to say. So thank you, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.